4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated. The drums of war thunder once again.
4 years may have passed for them, but in reality, since myself and many other people first sat down at their computers to watch this cinematic, 16 years has passed. In about 2 weeks, World of Warcraft will be 16 years old, which is a substantial period of time to be playing one video game consistently. I have recently returned to World of Warcraft, as I do every couple of years for a period of time, to go back to playing it again. The Legion expansion pack is a very good one. I've thoroughly been enjoying it. And I wanted to go on a little nostalgia trip and do a video on Warcraft on this channel. Maybe a little series. How long it'll last, I don't know. Depends on how long my interest in Warcraft lasts, and it tends to be quite on and off, as anything is after 16 years. So what I'm going to be doing is starting a fresh character. I'm going to be using some add-ons that give it a bit more of a story-driven, cinematic experience. I'm going to be paying attention to and looking at the lore of the game, because that's what I'm really interested in. That's what keeps bringing me back to playing this game. And in addition to that, I'm going to be rolling a Horde character. I have been Alliance the entire time that I have played this game. I've had Horde characters from time to time, but I've never consistently played one, and I've never played one from level 1 straight through to a high level. So that's what we're going to be doing for this series. Leveling a Horde character and going through the leveling experience, but with some add-ons to make it a bit of an interesting experience. We're going to be playing on my main server, Argent Dawn, European. We're not going to be touching my Demon Hunter, which is my main character. Instead, we're going to be creating a new character. Now, I know I'm going to be Horde, and I know what character I'm going to make. While I like most of the races of the Horde, my favorite two are probably Blood Elves and Undead. Blood Elves, I've played their starting area to death, so I'm going to be rolling an Undead. I'm also going to be rolling a Warrior, because I've always wanted to level up a Warrior, but it's something that I've never done. So that's what we're going to do. Character customization in Warcraft is fairly... I mean, it's relatively straightforward. There's not a whole lot you can do. You can customize it a little bit, but it's not anything that we're going to spend ages concentrating on. In fact, that'll do us. Character name. Let's go with the name of my first ever World of Warcraft character I created, which was an undead mage, I believe. So we've slightly come full circle. But yeah, this is Marathai, our undead warrior, and this is who we're going to be going on this adventure with. As I said, don't know how long this is going to last as a series, but if you're enjoying it, or you like the idea, let me know. If there's anything else about WoW that you'd like me to do a video on, let us know. But without further ado, let's jump in and enter the world of Warcraft.
Though Lady Sylvanas and her Forsaken finally took vengeance upon their hated enemy, the Lich King, their dark crusade in Northrend proved costly. Betrayed by Grand Apothecary Putrus at the Battle of Wrathgate, the Forsaken's devious plague of death was unleashed upon both the Alliance and the Horde to calamitous effect. Unbeknownst to Sylvanas, Putrus and his demonic ally, Varimathras, had taken control of the Undercity. As a result, the Forsaken were wrongly blamed for the traitor's atrocities. Though the Undercity was eventually retaken, Sylvanas and her followers still bear the weight of Putrus' sins. Mistrusted by the other members of the Horde, the Forsaken must now prove their loyalty to the cause and redeem themselves from their supposed treachery. To this end, Sylvanas has bolstered her defenses within the Tirisfal Glades and readied her undead forces for any contingency. As one of the Forsaken, you must use your cunning and viciousness to slay any who would pose a threat to Sylvanas' rule, be they human, undead, or otherwise.
So here we are, newly risen from the dead, having a little nap there for ourselves. So as you heard in that introduction cinematic, we are part of the Forsaken, who aren't very popular with either the Alliance or the Horde at this stage in the story, because a traitor unleashed a plague and took over the Forsaken city, and the Forsaken have been blamed for that. So Sylvanas, who is the leader of our faction, or our race, is in the bad books with the rest of the Horde. But let's stand up. How do I stand up? There we go. Marathai! Rise, Marathai! Welcome back to the realm of the living. With the blessing and power of the Dark Lady, I have freed you from death's grip. You are no slave, Marathai. You are free to follow whatever path you choose from here. If you choose to serve the Dark Lady Sylvanas, I recommend you speak with Undertaker Mordo. You will find him behind me, in the graveyard. And there's our first quest, to speak to Undertaker Mordo over here, who seems to be in charge of telling the noobs where to go.
What do you require?
Hello there, you must be Marathai? I'm pleased to see that you're up and walking around, Marathai. You've held up nicely, especially after being dead for so long. Others weren't as lucky. If you wouldn't mind, I need you to fetch my embalming fluid and some twine to stitch up these bodies. You'll find both in the Shadow Grave, the building just behind me. Here, Darnell will join you. He knows the way. So here's our buddy Darnell. He's sending us to find embalming fluid and corpse stitching twine so that he can fix up the other zombies who didn't quite end up as intact as I have. So let's do that. Let's bring our friend with us. There we go. He's gonna lead the way. Where could they be? Luckily they glow for me, so I know they're right over here on the table. Corpse stitching twine and thick embalming fluid. You can keep looking for that stuff all day if you want. I've already found it. So let's give this back to Undertaker Mordo. Some of these people aren't so happy to be resurrected. I should be dead, and to death I will return. Okay. Okay. He returned. I guess he wasn't kidding around.
What is it?
Exactly what I needed. You'll be an asset to the Forsaken, Marathai. You know, word has it that you were quite the warrior in your previous life. Perhaps I should assign you a more exciting task. The Valkyr raise hundreds of corpses every day. Agatha raised you just a few moments ago. Not all are as lucky as you, however. Some maintain their free will but live in constant fear and confusion. They usually run off into the woods, cowering at their own reflections. Others lose their minds completely, shambling about aimlessly. They often turn to violence and must be destroyed. This is your task, Marathai. Destroy them, our former brothers and sisters, though they might be.
Trust no one.
So, he is sending us to kill mindless zombies. The corpses that have not quite maintained their sanity as well as we have. But there's another little quest over here, so let's talk to Caretaker Case. King, peasant, or warrior, I don't care what you were before. I just need somebody with a working tongue. Being raised from the dead is strenuous. Not everyone copes with it as well as you did. In particular, there are 3 newly raised undead who are having trouble coping right now. I want you to find them and talk to them. It might be that they just need someone that they can relate with. You'll find them here in the graveyard.
Victory for Sylvanas.
So, Undertaker Mordo did mention that some people who are resurrected don't take it quite as well. We've now been given the task to deal with both groups. Those who retain their sanity and their free will, but who don't really appreciate being zombies. And also those who just end up as mindless, shambling corpses with no free will. So let's deal with the mindless, shambling ones first. What do you say? We only have one basic ability at this stage, and that is our Slam. Slam an opponent, causing 74 physical damage. That's our only ability at this stage. Let me turn on auto loot so that I don't have to manually pick everything up, because that's very frustrating. And then let's smash these guys. We need to kill 6 mindless zombies. Luckily, they're pretty damn weak, so this shouldn't be a major issue for us. Now that Slam ability uses our Rage resource. And our Rage resource goes up as we hit things. So every time we hit and get hit, our Rage fills up, and that lets us use our abilities. That's the 6 mindless zombies slain, but let's speak to the undead now. What's going on? Who are you? What happened to me? Don't you remember? You died. I died? Yes, you're right. I died. It was an orc. He cut off my hands and left me to die. These aren't my hands! These aren't my hands! Calm down, Valdred. Undertaker Mordo probably sewed some new ones on for you. I suppose this is my fate then. Ha! Part of an undead army. Somehow I never considered that I might end up fighting for the Forsaken. What do I do now? You talk to Undertaker Mordo. He'll tell you what to do. That's all I know. I see. Well then, let's get to work, Marathai. The Dark Lady needs us, right? He took that surprisingly well. Okay, wow. Fair play to him. Lillian.
Yes?
Get away from me, you abomination. I'm not an abomination. I'm simply undead. I just want to speak with you. The undead are a taint upon Azeroth. Every one of you creatures deserves to be destroyed. Lillian, do you realize you are undead yourself?
Victory for Sylvanas.
No, you're lying. My father will protect me. And off she goes. Okay, she didn't take it quite as well as Valdred did, but we have one person left to speak to. Now this guy concerns me because I recognize that name, Marshal Redpath. He was an Alliance soldier who used to guard one of the towns. In Red Ridge Mountains. What's the town called? Lakeshire? So that looks like Alliance armor he's wearing as well.
Speak quickly.
Stand back, monster. You want to fight? Because I'll fight you. I'll fight any one of you creatures. You hear me? I'm not here to fight. I've only been asked to speak with you. Oh, really? Fine. I don't want to join you and your Forsaken. Maybe I'll start my own Forsaken. Maybe I'll invent Forsaken with elbows. With blackjack and hookers. You are free to do whatever you like. Who are you calling a monster? You're the monster. I'm just a man who died. 1 out of 3 ain't bad, right? We got 1 guy on board. The other 2 are a different story. Arthura is that Valkyrie's name. Aradne is that one. I don't see the one that raised me. Agatha? This guy's stitching people up over here. I hope you like your new jaw. There's some more corpses that aren't happy. Oh, and he just turned into a mindless zombie. Poor guy. Bye. Mordo! Not even the powers of the Valkyr was enough to save these creatures. They were doomed from the beginning. I have obtained some equipment for you, Marathai. It's not much, but it will help. And we have reached level 2. Fantastic, but we also have this quest to hand in. You've done well, warrior. As you can see, not all of us have resigned to our fates. I'm glad to see that you're at least willing to work. Valdred will be a valuable asset to the Forsaken. As for the other 2, there is not much we can do. We cannot force them to join us. Darnell tells me that the 2 of you have already met. That's good, because I'm sending you both into Deathnell. Your work is done here. Speak with Deathguard Saltane and Deathnell to the north. He will tell you more of what you must know. Okay, so Darnell is going to come with us. And we're going to wander down to town. Is this the one that raised us? No. Dashla. How many of these guys is there? They're freaking everywhere. There's a death guard. So we're heading down to town. And we're looking for Death Guard Saltane, who is this bro over here.
I am forsaken.
Those Valkyr have been really busy resurrecting you newbies lately. I've already seen a couple dozen new bodies run down that hill since this morning. You, however, are the most promising warrior I've seen today.
Trust no one.
We've been shipping in dead bodies from Silverpine, Hillsbrad, hell, anywhere we can get them from. We can't, however, afford to ignore the bodies which are sitting right on our front doorstep. The last vestiges of the Scarlet Crusade roam here in Tirisfal Glades. While we've managed to push them from Deathnell, several of their bodies litter the buildings to the north and the east. Go find them, and bring that Darnell fellow with you. He looks strong enough to carry a few corpses.
Patience.
So Darnell is going to come with us, and we're going to gather some corpses. We got some gear. We got a cloak to equip, so let's equip that. There we go. Now these guys... Yep. You take them. These guys are not going to be happy to be turned into corpses. These corpses belong to the Scarlet Crusade, judging by their attire and the tabards that they're wearing. The Scarlet Crusade are notorious anti-undead crusaders. They're absolutely insane to the extent that, like, they'll kill humans who they suspect of being undead, or they'll kill humans who they suspect could potentially turn into undead at some stage just to stop the plague from spreading. It's that kind of kill the food and the enemy will starve mentality. So somehow I don't think a lot of them will be joining our side, but if they want corpses, that's fine. Great work, Marathai. I knew you weren't useless. Here, take one of these. We Death Guards have piles of these things just sitting around. So let's take these bracers. Are you still here, Marathai? You know, I'm only a Death Guard. I don't have many tasks I can hand out to passers-by like you. I'd recommend that you talk to Shadow Priest Sarvis. I remember he helped me get on my feet after I was plucked out of that tomb. I'm sure he'll do the same for you. You'll find him just inside the chapel here on the west side of town. So we got some nice bracers. And we are going inside the church to speak with Shadow Priest Sarvis. Greetings, Marathai. I see you wield a weapon. Can you fight? If you're going to be an asset to the Forsaken, you need to learn how to fight. And there's no better target than the Scourge minions that continue to pester us. The wretched ghouls and rattlecage skeletons that roam the north and to the east are former troopers of the fallen Scourge. They should prove to be an even match for a fledgling warrior like you. Do not tarry. When you're done, speak to me again. So again, this guy is going to send us out to deal with the mindless ones, but a little bit more powerful mindless ones this time around. So let's fuck these guys up. We must be getting close to leveling up at this stage now. So we've two different types that we can kill this time around. These rattlecage skeletons count towards the quest, and these wretched ghouls as well. Any of these monsters that have the highlight around them and the yellow name are going to be suitable to complete the quest. That's why they're highlighted. Two more of these and we should be done. There we go. Now I imagine this quest should get us to level 3. Just based on what I know from doing these zones a few times. Quests tend to give a chunk of experience. You're growing in strength, Marathai. I've seen your type before. You'll be moving out of Deathnell and onto greater things before long. Just make sure you don't lose sight of where you started. You have much to accomplish, warrior. Boom! Level 3! New ability, Charge. Why don't you go and speak with my novice Elrit? She serves me and will have some tasks to which you can apply your new abilities.
Victory for Silver.
Luckily, she's right here. May the Dark Lady watch over you, Marathai. Earlier on, I saw a young Forsaken woman running towards the old inn. She was screaming for her life, pleading to be taken back home. Not all of us are as resolute as others, Marathai. Even so, we must accept our fate as undead if we are to rise up against those that would put us down. Take my hand mirror and show it to the young woman. She needs to see what she really is and join us in our cause. Besides, we can use all the bodies that we can get. So we need to meet Lillian and show her herself. What's this guy? Ting strong of stomach. And he's giving her something to drink. Whoa, it's interesting. Oh yes, I'm sorry it wasn't to your liking. Is he trying to kill her? She should be a pile of bones and slime. Strong of stomach indeed. Wow, okay. So that Pandaren can apparently take whatever he's dishing out. Now Lillian is normally up here, I thought. Is she downstairs? Oh yeah, she's cowering in the corner over here.
What is it?
Get away from me, you monster. Don't look at me. I'm hideous. You're not hideous, Lillian. You're one of us. Here, look in this mirror. See for yourself. You don't understand. I can't be undead. Not me. Not now. Okay, and she's just ran off. Well, that didn't go well. Let's let Elrith know.
Hello?
You say she ran away? What a shame. Very well. As long as she's maintained her free will, there's still hope. I can keep you busy here in town all week, but you seem to be more the fighting type. Yes, you'll do just fine. I'd like you to go talk to Executor Aaron. Follow the path north out of Deathnell. You'll find him not far past the barricades.
Watch over you.
So, she's sending us out to someone who's gonna help us with a bit of combat. Have we got any mail? No mail. Sad face. We have no mail. We did unlock our new ability, Charge. I'm gonna swap those around. So charge to an enemy, dealing 17 physical damage, rooting it for 1 second, and then reducing its movement speed. And it also generates 20 rage. It generates enough rage to use our slam, which is very handy. What do we have here? A new warrior ready for battle, eh? First of all, look at your armor. You're a mess, warrior. If you'd like to stay in one piece, and I've no doubt you do, perhaps I can help. If you can gather some paws and wings from the wolves and bats nearby, maybe I'll find some armor for you. You'll find the creatures to the north and to the west of here. So, this is your typical MMO fetch quest. We need to gather paws and wings from wolves and bats. And then he's going to give us some armor. So that was our charge ability. It's pretty sweet. So there we go. We've gathered the materials. Do try your best to keep yourself unharmed until you get some armor. Thank you, Marathai. This armor should help you out. Hopefully, it should do you more good than the last one to wear it. This quest doesn't reward any armor. What the fuck, Blizzard? One of our greatest struggles is obtaining the natural resources we need to survive. Gold was scarce in Lordaeron, even in the height of the Alliance's power so many years ago. There is a gold mine to the west that has been overrun with spiders. We need gold from the mine, but we can't very well get it while the spiders are crawling around in there. I've not much manpower to commit to the task, so we'll just have to do it little by little. Get up there and see what you can do for us. So, he mentioned Lordaeron there, and that was the original name of this area we're in. This used to be a human kingdom. Long ago, it was one of the biggest kingdoms of the humans on Azeroth in this world. Unfortunately, the plague hit. That's what created the zombies. And that's kind of what turned it into what it is now. Level 4. Boom. There's a whole backstory behind the plague and where it came from. And basically it was... it was an evil cult. An evil that ended up creating the plague and unleashing it. But long story short is this area that we're in at the moment used to be a human kingdom until the plague hit and turned all the humans into zombies. And this is where the Forsaken, which is our faction of zombies, our faction that have free will, this is where they've made their home. They have a pretty big city here, which we'll get to see eventually, the Undercity, and they're led by Lady Sylvanas, who is this dark lady that you'll constantly see NPCs referring to. She is the leader of the Forsaken. So that's the gold mine cleared out. We sorted out the spiders. Let's return back to our boy Arnell. Is that his name? I don't quite remember. And let him know that we've cleared out the spiders. Aaron! That's it. How could I forget Aaron? Poor Aaron. Well, it's a start. It'll take a few weeks or months to fully clean out the infestation. After that, we'll have to get down there with some torches to burn away the webbing. You've done your duty well, Marathai. And that was our 50th quest completed. It doesn't feel like we've completed 50 quests at all. While you were inside that cave, your big friend Darnell came by with some alarming news. Since the Valkyr arrived, we've seen more and more undead that chose not to join our forces under the banner of the Dark Lady. That's that Sylvanas chick I was talking about. They've been gathering in a small camp here in the valley, and now they've organised forces. They plan to attack Death Knell, warrior. Darnell is just down the road to the east. Be careful, Marathai. While those undead aren't completely brainless, they're still not quite right in the head. So some of the undead that were raised and haven't quite taken to life as a zombie are plotting against us. Luckily, it sounds like our friend Darnell is ready to engage. So we'll pop down and have a chat to him and see what's going on. These guys have names. Carol Graves, Daniel Ulfran, Stephen Bartek, Samuel Phipps. Why have those guys got names and nobody else does? Maybe it's part of this quest. Marathai, you made it. You see those tents up there? That's where we're headed. The battle has probably already started. Oh, I have to choose a reward. Let us take this two-handed Forsaken Bastard Sword. While you were taking care of matters for Executor Aaron, I went off on an assignment of my own. Shadow Priest Sarvis asked me to peek in on the Rotbrain camp. There's a reason why they're called Rotbrains. Their leader goes by the name of Marshal Redpath, and he's an absolute beast. Look, Marathai, the attack is starting. You're better in combat than I am. Get in there and help out. When you're done, meet up with Shadow Priest Sarvis in the chapel. Good luck, Marathai. So let's equip that gear that we got. Now, this quest is sending us up there. It's not sending us over here. So I'm going to go over to these guys that have names and I'm going to kill them. Just to see if they drop anything special. I presume the names are referencing something. But I don't know what. They're not dropping anything special. No. I kind of feel bad for killing them now. Since they didn't give me any loot. But oh well. That was unnecessary levels of violence. So we need to kill 8 Rotbrain undead. And we also need to kill Marshal Redpath. I told you I had a bad feeling about that guy. I'm Horde now. I have to hold the opinion that Alliance soldiers are bad news. Luckily, these Rotbrains aren't actually all that strong, so they're fairly well able to take care of them. There's the Marshal, there's the leader. I'm a monster, don't look at me! He's dead. Finish off 4 more Rotbrains. And that'll be our quest completed. Oh, that was it. Sorry. I think I killed more than I was supposed to there. Okay, so now we need to head back to Shadow Priest Sarvis, back in the main town, it looks like. Here we are, back in Death Knell. So let's let Sarvis know we took care of the traitors. Being born again under the power of a Valkyr is a strenuous process. Many don't survive the shock, turning into zombies or ghouls. Others retain just enough humanity to seem normal on the outside, but they're sick inside. We should have slain those Rotbrains the day they were raised. As for you, you're a strong warrior, Marathai. I knew you'd do well. You'll be headed out of Death Knell soon. Level 5. And he's handing me a piece of paper. These will need to be taken to my field agent, Deathguard Simmer. This information contains the whereabouts of the last few holdouts from the Scarlet Crusade. We'll destroy these Crusaders once and for all, and I have a feeling you'll be instrumental in that effort, Marathai. Take the road north out of Deathnell. Soon after entering Tirisfal proper, you'll see a large manse. Simmers inside. Okay, so we are out of here. Aww. Darnell was saying goodbye to us. Goodbye, Darnell. Gonna miss that guy. He's been with us for quite a while. So we are headed out of Deathnell. Let's pop to a vendor before we leave, and sell stuff that we don't need. We don't need this junk. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. Cool.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Job done. We did unlock a new ability. Victory Rush. Strikes the target, causing 61 damage and healing you for 30% of your maximum health. Only usable within 20 seconds after you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor. So after you kill an enemy, you can then use Victory Rush to heal. Alright, let's test that out. There's an enemy dead. So now we should be able to use Victory Rush. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, that'll be handy because being able to heal yourself is a useful skill to have. So we're leaving Deathnell now, heading down the main road to report to that guy's agent. He's given us Scarlet Crusade documents. The Scarlet Crusade, as I mentioned earlier, is this anti-undead group. Disperse information as you deem necessary. Tirisfal Regional Command. Captain Melrak, Captain Vakon, and Captain Perrine. Directives by order of the High Lord. Captain Perrine, further fortify your position at the southwest towers. Additional supplies will be dispatched at a later date. In the meantime, materials should be obtainable from the surrounding farms. Also, further reconnaissance and information should be gathered about the organization of the undead in Brill. That's the next town we're going to. There's the symbol of the Dark Lady. That's the Forsaken banner there. Captain Vakon, there appears to be increased movement by the undead near the northern tower. This insurgents must be quickly and decisively dealt with. Captain Melrak, there are concerns about the level of organization of the undead near the borders of the Plaguelands. A fresh group of men will be dispatched to your position in the coming weeks. Glory under the light. So they are orders for the Scarlet Crusade lieutenants that are based in this zone. So there's our little starting zone that we were in. Deathnell there, that area that's now glowing. And this is the rest of the zone that we've now walked into. So you can see the scale here. We can see flight paths on the map here. So we'll explore more of this map as we kind of go through the zone. But the first big town, Brill, is just over there. But we are heading to this question mark, which is the manse that the Shadow Priest mentioned where his man is. There's Gordo, the apothecary. So we are here at the manse, and I think this is where we're going to end our first episode. Before we do, I'm going to speak to the profession trainer, who's going to teach us our trade skills. I can teach you the basics of any gathering or production profession, but that's all. To learn more than an apprentice's skills, you'll need to visit a specialist dedicated to only one profession. You can learn up to 2 professions: 2 gathering, 2 production, or 1 of each. Secondary skills, archaeology, cooking, first aid, and fishing, don't count towards your 2 professions. You can learn as many of those as you like. So, professions in this game are your crafting skills, your trade skills, and things like that. We'll cover them off later in the series. I just want to pick them up while I'm here. I already know what ones I'm getting. So because I am a warrior, I'm going to learn mining. There we go. We've learned the mining trade skill. And in addition to mining, I'm going to learn blacksmithing. And this is so that we can make our own armor and weapons eventually. So we've now learned,
Seek death.
if we look at our spell book, and we look at our professions, we've now learned mining skills so that we can smelt copper, and it'll also let us mine copper out in the world. And we've learned blacksmithing so that we can make some basic equipment. So now we have our professions. Next episode then, we'll deliver the Scarlet Crusade documents to Deathguard Simmer. And we will see where we go from there. Please, guys, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this idea for a series and if you'd like to see a little bit more of it. If you play World of Warcraft, if you play on Argent Dawn, hit me up. Let me know. Send me a whisper. Drop a comment. I'm always interested to hear if people are enjoying the series that we have on this channel. This is a trip down nostalgia lane for me as far as I'm concerned with this series. But if there is other World of Warcraft stuff that people want to see, if you want to see some dungeon runs, if you want to see some mythic runs, if you want to see me tanking on my Demon Hunter, drop a comment and let me know. But for now, I'll see you in the next episode, and we will say goodbye to Marathai until next time. Bye bye.